welcome to another episode of the Jobbertears podcast. As always, I'm Janelle from HR, here with Sir Wilkins and Mr. Black in the building. Before we do get started, I do want to thank, do have a few shout outs to do. So shout outs to happy birthday, Nicholas. Shout outs to Nick, who's been like our day one. He's actually probably been one of the few people to be, you know, on our first season.
What episodes? He was on the pilot episode.
He was not on the pilot episode.
Yes, he was in the background.
Yes, he was.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, him, Maurice, and who's the third person?
I don't remember.
I don't remember
Robert.
any of them. I remember Rob being there. Well, once again, shout outs to Nick. Happy birthday. Want to give a special shout out to him.
Big Nick.
He's always been super supportive of the podcast and just us personally. So
shout out to my son Henry Wrestling, who's in here. Shout out to The Wiz.
Yo, Rush Hour 4 is coming out.
With who?
Okay.
Jackie Chan and
Oh, really?
Not interested.
Chris Tucker.
Okay.
Not interested.
I am.
I'm not
3
that
was
yet.
trash.
I'm not cool.
I am. I'm going to watch Jackie Chan.
3 was trash.
Facts. Yo, Jackie Chan has this movie on Netflix called Foreigner. That shit is a mind fuck to the 10th power, and it's so good. So highly recommend that.
Like, his movies outside of America's way better, though. They have better storylines, better plots. Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
Boy.
I mean, you can't deny Rumble in the Bronx.
Come on.
But my favorite is Jackie Chan First Strike. So it's okay.
Come on. Classics, B.
But no, check out Foreigner. I think it's on Netflix.
Check it out.
Also, shout outs to the Call Up podcast. I was blessed to be interviewed by Kenny last night. He will be releasing the episode soon, so stay tuned for that. But make sure to subscribe and follow the Call Up podcast. I think he has a dope promotion. He's partnership with Ringside Collectibles, which you can hit him up. He does have a promo code. So in time for the holidays, if you want to buy collectibles, if you're into that, hit up Kenny. He does have a promo code on ringsidecollectibles.com. I'm trying to think of what else is going on, too. Just announced last night, once again, welcome to NYC Battle Club Pro's first show of 2023, and it will feature no other than my right-hand man over here getting in the ring for the very, 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 very first time. Sir Wilkins going against Simon Miller.
There's no running Simon Miller.
Of what culture?
There's no running Simon Miller.
3 years in the make. Yo, have you come up with your 5 moves of doom yet?
You find out during the match.
Exactly.
The 5-minute match.
He's going to do this 5 moves. So tickets are on sale now. So make sure to
it will be in the description below.
Front row gets you
Paperback?
access to what?
It's brown paperback, right? Okay.
Yes.
Brown paper bag.
That's actually not how the song goes.
Brown paper bag.
A little bit better. Still not how it goes, but way better than this one over here. But make sure to purchase your tickets. All front row VIP, I guess in that sense, will be able to get a photo out with Simon Miller in the ring before the show. So make sure to tell a friend to tell a friend. It's so funny. I saw Ant as I was walking. He was on the FedEx truck.
Me too.
I said, January 21st, nigga, be there. He said, heard you. I said, yep. So make sure to come out and support. Also, too, Fallout Shelter is having their end of the year show, joint show. I believe it's called Heat Seekers, which I think is kind of cool. Yeah. So make sure it's at Ridgefield Park. So make sure, I think they're a part of like a 2-3 day wrestling weekend extravaganza ending the year off of 2022. So make sure to support Fallout Shelter as well, and the other and Pro Wrestling Magic as well. For that weekend, the last weekend of 2022. Right now,
the link to the tickets right now is in the comments for all of you.
Well, whoever's
Facebook
on the live
right
had put the link in the comments as well.
Y'all be one of the first people to get your tickets. You already know it's gonna be popping. You already know it's gonna be big titties popping, little dicks dropping.
Don't think that is definitely not happening at all.
Because anyone that who has been with Battle Club, you already know. Bangers after bangers, man. For Job Slam 1, but you classics, prolific versus Jobbertears South, more classics. Classics of the classics, B. I referee classics out here, B. We do classics.
By the way, the Eagles are 11-1.
No one can. Yo, first of all, what we're not gonna do is post shit like that on the Jobbertears podcast page. What we're not gonna do.
Michael Boxley for the compliment. Thank you, King. Thank you, King.
But once again, the
no
Eagles are 11-1.
one cares.
People were talking shit when they lost to the Commanders, and what happened with the Giants?
Because I mean
they tied.
That's a talking shit thing.
They
but
tied.
this weekend,
They
yo,
tied.
if the tickets drop tremendously,
You lost to the Commanders.
Sunday we didn't lose,
They tied.
but we didn't win.
No,
They
I'm talking
tied.
the Eagles. Y'all
Oh
lost to the
yeah,
Commanders.
that was.
But then they tied.
Listen, we
Y'all
got enough
tied.
time.
That was weird.
Time just ran out on us.
No, y'all suck.
No, we don't suck. I'm pretty sure the
Which Eagles
Broncos.
get again?
Pretty sure the
Huh?
Broncos
Which Eagle
are
jersey
in a
then?
worse
Which Eagle jacket?
position than
It's
anyone
cold
else.
outside.
It's not cold
It's not-
outside.
That jacket protects you. It's warm, like a
it's-
vortex of warmness.
I'm fucking asleep.
does
Reminder to those that are on the live feed, please make sure if you have not gave Facebook, you've not gave Mark Zuckerberg access to your account, please put your name either at the beginning or the end of what you're saying so we know who you are. We want to be able to interact with you guys, so I want to be able to know who I'm talking
Shout out
to.
to my son Gene. I
Um,
think 65 today, B.
you said what?
Gene turned 65 today.
Gene did not turn 65 today. What the hell? What else is going on? This nigga here.
I love saying niggas bad. Oh, he bad young. Shout out to his son, man.
Anyway,
Brittany Griner's out of jail.
yes, they made the switcheroo this morning. So she's if not already here back in the States, she's on her way back home.
There
so
was like how that conspiracy alert. They said that Russia did a good job because they could have bargained for more things. Because like that was a bargaining tip that.
well, yeah, they have been said that from the beginning
Yeah.
though. But you know that whole thing is it's problematic as fuck.
I just
so.
said honestly, it's not right because she didn't do nothing. So like personally, she should not be involved. Period. So like for her to get out is more of it and like yo, she didn't do nothing. She's not involved. Fuck it, we gotta burn this.
Well, that's what happens when you are in Russia.
And,
like,
and
like how we see and how we move in life is not how.
Nah, but if you listen to all
they
these
move
rappers,
and
they'll
see
tell you
in life.
Russian weed is fire, son. They say we smoke all the time in Russia.
But in there, she was coming through customs with it. So and it's the
I think
same
that's what
thing.
it is,
Like
yeah.
it's the same thing. Like if you were to cross the border in Canada, you get caught up.
Or
Even though it's
if
legal
you
here
cross
in
the
New
border
York,
from,
and
New
it's
York to
legal-
somewhere else, yeah.
it's legal in Canada, but you
Yeah.
can't cross federal lines with it. So that's just what the gist of that is. But welcome home, Britt. We are glad.
I'm coming home.
Yo, somebody had posted.
coming
Oh,
home.
something's wrong. Something went wrong. Okay, let's try it again. Does anybody want to go fix it? Well, while we do have some technical difficulties, I'm trying to think about what else is going on before we do jump into some good old wrestling. Ric Flair has his documentary coming on Peacock.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's coming out. Hold on, let me see on the cock, but no one wants to
Hey,
say
yo,
that.
on the cock.
The boys hate when I say it.
On
The
the
boys
cock.
hate when I say it on the. Somebody said,
weak.
"Uh-oh."
Oh, we on the cock.
Somebody said, "Uh-oh." Oh shit! Housewives of Miami's
man.
back.
What's on the cock?
Yo, people be hating on Peacock,
Oh,
but
man.
Peacock be having
Fire, B.
the shows for me.
Come on, B.
It be having the movies
Come
for
on,
me.
B. You watch George Lopez and watch the Rock
This
the
nigga
Rock
went.
Bottom, B. Come on, B. And you watch Good Times and the Jeffersons. Come on, B.
Classic.
Come on, they have Nope on here. Class Harry Potter, all five.
Oh,
all
I was
five?
glad Nope was on. I was on Peacock because I was like, I
Come on,
definitely
dogs.
wasn't gonna go see that.
Did
but-
you see the movie Honk for Jesus?
No, but I do want. It's on the list.
Okay.
It's on the list.
Come on, you saw Ambulance?
No.
That movie was good.
You know what's it's funny, all these different streamings I use for different purposes. So like I have Paramount Plus and I
Mhm.
watch nothing but TV shows on Paramount Plus.
Mhm.
Netflix I will watch movies on. Hulu I'll watch movies on.
What movies you watch on Hulu?
Really all the scary shit. Like if
They got
we're
some good
in a,
scary section.
if we're in
yeah.
a scary movie mood, then
So, what
we'll
movie
watch
is a
Hulu.
good scary movie? Now I'm talking about. I want to be like, ooh, I'm shook.
I mean, everybody's shookness is a little different. Like, it's funny because one time me and Michael we had smoked before we went to bed, and we was like, all right, we in a scary movie mood, so let's see what we find. And Mikey's one of his favorite scary movies is Paranormal Activity.
Really?
So we So we put it on. Nigga, we didn't even get 10 minutes in and our asses was fucking spooked. We scared ourselves. We had to turn that shit off. We couldn't watch that. That shit, we couldn't watch that past like 1 o'clock in the morning. That shit was
there's
wild.
certain movies that I just won't watch.
I still haven't watched the last third episode of the fucking Teddy Hurt thing, but I will. I promise,
did it?
guys. Yeah, I don't know. It phased out for me. It was just like I already know what he's about, so I don't feel like I need to watch the third episode to figure it out. I'm trying to see who else is. What Barbarian Izzy? What is that? I've never heard of that. Yeah, I've never heard of that. But what about you? What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't watch scary movies because like I'm a scaredy cat.
What?
So
You're a scaredy cat?
I'm terrified of scary movies.
So like Halloween, Michael Myers.
I avoid all of them.
Freddy. Really?
Why do you want to scare yourself?
Wow. So wait, did y'all grow up not watching scary movies?
No.
Really? Wow. Wow, I'm impressed. So like Scream or Halloween,
But Scream
Freddy
not
versus
scary,
Jason. Nah, Scream. So for me, shit that's realistic is actually scarier.
Yeah.
So Scream is realistic as fuck. So that shit is scary. Like,
What's the point?
what do you mean? So you don't have a favorite scary movie?
Why would you want to scare yourself?
Who said? So do you have a favorite scary movie?
Like I said, why would you want
Do you go on roller coasters?
Nope.
Really? Whoa! You find something new about your best friend
Wait a
every
minute,
day.
Why don't you go on roller coasters?
So like, if we was
What's
like,
the
yo,
point?
we going to Six Flags, we
Oh yeah.
out,
So what do you do at Six Flags?
hold bags. Oh, eat. Wait. So did you get on rides when you went to Disney?
Yeah, because I paid a lot of money for it.
So that was but Disney's kind of like a cheat because it's kind of like how Universal is a little, like it's not as like roller coaster. It's like more animated and blase, but so like you never went to like Six Flags.
So when's the last time you been to Six Flags?
Years.
Really?
Wow.
It's been a long time.
I should have left you.
Niggas is like, no. Izzy, do I have time to Google it? Tell me what the fuck it is.
What?
In the chat.
What is
in
it?
our group chat, put the trailer or whatever you was talking about in the chat.
So let me get this straight.
Wow, you don't
so-
do roller coasters.
So you don't do roller coasters. So you the guy who eats and hold all the bags.
Hold all the bags, yeah.
Because I get motion sickness.
Oh.
I do-
Even in the car?
Yes. That's why I don't read in the car.
Oh, you know what? That makes sense why your ass always falls asleep in the car.
Because it's like
Wow.
rocking a baby to sleep.
So how do you do cruises?
Huh?
Have you been to cruise before?
No.
Really?
Really? Oh, it's gonna be your first time next year. Yay.
What's
Really?
I feel like most of y'all's gonna be your first time
Yeah,
going on a cruise next year.
Really?
Wow, you learn
serious?
something new every day. But you know what? Mikey's kind of like that. It's weird. Like he can drive the car, but if he's the passenger, he has to sit behind the driver's seat in order to not get motion
Oh,
sickness.
certain people I can't drive with.
It's weird.
Like certain people certain people like to go in and out of traffic. I can't drive with them.
Yo, speaking about that, we're gonna get to wrestling. I promise, guys. There's A&E has this wild show called Road Wars. And it's nothing but like videos of like dash cams, like people getting into accidents, people like brake checking people getting in it. It's like the wildest.
brake checking?
A&E brake checking is basically like if you're on the road and you just like randomly pump your brakes literally while the car behind you is like trying to move in traffic. So you keep brake checking in front of the person. It's like, what are you doing? Izzy, I said put it in the group chat, not in the comments. Please and thank you. But all right, let's talk about some wrestling. Let's get into it. PWI had put out their top 100 tag teams.
Shout out to main event.
Shout out to main event number 93 in this bitch. I'm so proud of them.
They wasn't even ranked last year. Now look at them now.
But but that PWI also helped with my case about the bloodline.
It still debatable.
So, no, it does not.
No. It helped you. It helped you in the case of
Them being the greatest.
The
The mere fact I said it. Did I say it? They're in their prime.
Yeah, you did.
But
They're in their prime.
but
It's like
see,
COVID. It's like the
it's
'96
hard,
Bulls,
but
baby.
it's hard to. But the thing though is, it's hard to say it's the greatest when it's current.
It don't matter.
It can't be both.
When the '96 Bulls went
But
seven,
do you see how you're talking about something over 20 years
no,
ago?
even when it was going down, they were considered the greatest team ever.
But regardless,
Troy
of
Aikman.
he's so fine.
Troy Aikman.
Key. Even though he's a
That is
Dallas
true,
Cowboy,
though.
but
Michael Irvin.
That is true. We got you to understand. Like they won the most the most games in the series. I mean, in a season.
No, even during the season, because he's talking about it's like after you can argue that. But what I'm saying is during that moment, when they were breaking records, Michael Jordan was out here on the street with a tongue out like this, putting a ball between his legs. Pause.
super pause.
That is true though, because when
you were saying he was the greatest team ever, just like
the
bloodline.
But see,
or the Patriots. But the Patriots
thing,
had a perfect season.
Yeah, no, I ain't nobody. I can't co-sign that. But that's what I'm not denying the current status. It's just for me when I talk about greatest, it has to be something before.
I'm
let's
the visionary.
Say,
I'm vision.
Okay, you're dragging it.
I'm seeing the future.
Dragging it. But let's say like if we have this conversation, it'd be funny if we have this conversation 10 years from now. Well, let's say we have this conversation 10 years from now and the Usos and the bloodline is no more. Then they could be in that conversation of being the greatest.
They're the longest tag team champions.
It's exactly in the moment. And then PWI just put the stamp of approval because
PWI gave them the best tag team of the year.
Yeah, because when
Roman was the best wrestler of the year.
Correct. And I'm not denying
Talk
it.
to him, Black. Talk to him,
I'm
Black.
not denying.
And one of the greatest managers of all time.
I'm not denying.
Paul Heyman.
And most likely they'll get storyline of the year with Sami Zayn. And they'll get Slammy. So they're literally going to sweep all the awards.
I'm not denying it. But once again, it's a current thing.
Bro,
it's the year.
We're watching Thriller. We're watching
watching
the
history.
Bloodline is the
Watching
version of
history
Thriller.
is one thing.
It's
current though. It's the current thing. And when 10 years from now you have this conversation, it'll be a part. They have made history.
Records now.
They're breaking records now.
But who's okay?
Let's appreciate them.
So I'm not against it. The fuck?
Put the finger up.
That I'm not doing. Y'all can have that all you want. I'm not doing that shit. I'm not doing that.
Acknowledge them.
Yeah, no.
Acknowledge them.
But
somebody did say this, right? One of my coworkers did make a great point. I was like, dang, he did make a great point. The one thing that set this group apart from all the other groups, DX, because they had China. What else group in that list that had a dominant woman that was that influential in wrestling history than China?
Well, that's a good point.
So this is why you gotta put them automatically in the top 5.
Who?
DX.
Of course.
And another group that you mentioned last week.
We were chopping our crotch because of DX.
Right. Another
chop.
group that I felt like didn't get as much exposure because there was that Undisputed Era.
But I said that.
You did, and I watched it back. I can put a clip about that. It is true though, because guess what? Nobody give them credit because they dominated NXT. Everybody went against them so many times. Every time War Games was made just for them.
Just for them.
And listen, I respect it. I love Undisputed Era.
Yes.
But you got to talk about the bloodline being...
No, but no one's...
No, I understand. Listen, Janelle. I understand your point of view. Like, you wait until it's all over, all said and done. Where do they stand? But at this point, and this is just... Obviously, this is my opinion. This is not yours. I feel that they are the greatest of all time because of them being at peak levels and rocking. Like... When you talk about the 4 Horsemen, everybody loves the 4 Horsemen. And
I was just watching a clip of them
You can say that they set the blueprint, all this other stuff. Yeah, of course. One of the greatest albums of all time was Reasonable Doubt.
So let's see. Ooh, I like that. So this list is a mixture of men and women tag teams. And I like that when I take a look at it, in that top 20, Toxic Attraction's in it. And I highly agree with that. They're actually they're actually right below Street Profits. So I'll give you the top 20. We can take it from there, kind of see what we think. So number 1 was the Usos. Mm-hmm. Number 2 was FTR. Number 3 was the Briscoes. Number 4 was Lucha Bros. Number 5 is I don't want to be that person, but it is a Japanese tag team that I am not sure of. I'm gonna try. It is. Fukoto Double Crazy. I don't know who those people are, but they're number 5. Number 6 is Arcade Bro. Number 7 is the Good Brothers, which I know you low-key hate. Number 9 is the Hex. So NWA's Alan Takei and Marty Bell.
Alex Kane?
Allison Kay and Marty Bell. Violence is Forever, which was in MLW. Number 11 was Aussie Open. Number 12 was United Empire, Jeff Codd and Great O'Khan. Number 13, Street Profits. Number 14, Toxic Attraction. Number 15, a Mexican tag team. I'm just going to put that on the table.
But you're Spanish.
Yep, but I'm not Mexican. So, number 16 is Black Desire. So Stardom, Starlight Kid, and Mono. It says like Wannabe. It's really interesting. Number 17, NWA's Bestia 666 and Mecha Wolf Forfeit. I don't know who these people are. Number 18 was Swerve and Our Girl Glory. Number 19, Sasha Banks and Naomi. And number 20, wrapping it up, was the reigning and defending AEW World Tag Team Champions, The Acclaim. So it's very interesting.
But how is Sasha Banks in the top 20? Sasha Banks and Naomi in the top 20.
Well, you have to always think about it's the time period. So when they do it, it's the year before up until probably, I think it's that June, July of this year.
Okay, but I don't feel like this should be in the top 20. They did nothing spectacular because just like, I'm just talking about me just watching as a viewer. They never got a chance to really defend those titles. They got the titles. They have no moments that make them stick out as a tag team. So why are they in the top 20 for? Toxic Attraction belongs in there because they have moments, they have matches, they have given reasons why.
Didn't they win at Mania?
Who?
Banks and Naomi.
What else?
No, I'm just you said moments,
what else?
I'm just putting one
what
out
else?
there.
Okay, one moment you said. What else?
Right, but that one moment is between the time
that
period
should not supersede them for them to be in the top 20.
What it's once again opinion based.
Well, that's also the reason why they're probably the only WWE women's tag team that's on the top.
No, because Toxic Attraction.
No, I'm not talking about from the main roster.
And Toxic Attraction actually is higher than them.
No.
Well, because you made it because it go to your point that you're right. Like because of the controversy and stuff that was surrounding them.
Yeah.
They didn't really do anything.
Exactly. And something that Mikey said to go along with what you said about the bloodline. God forbid, if the bloodline, something happens to bloodline today, automatically they'll be in GOAT status.
They're already in GOAT status.
No.
No, I get what you're saying.
But it was just like
it will elevate them maybe more. But then it's also that whole thing. They love you when you're gone.
Oh, okay. So PWI, according to the magazine, they cover from October 2021 to September 2022. So it's always the previous year to September of the current one.
Maybe I'm missing something. But they did nothing spectacular to make them stand to be on that list.
So I think it's not. I think in your perception
it's not like how
of it. Hold on. I think your perception of it is that, and it's just the beauty of wrestling. Some things are going to hit for you, and some things aren't going to hit for you. For me, I don't see it. I don't have a problem with it. I would have had a problem with it if they were higher than Toxic Attraction. That I would have been like, all right, somebody's smoking out here.
Okay.
But the fact that, if I'm not mistaken, they were the first black women to be tag team champions.
Okay.
They won at WrestleMania, and it's once again all within that time frame of that year. And I mean, them being able to take their ball and go home with it, that's pretty ballsy too. As a tag team, them niggas stuck through and through. No matter what.
It's not like Janelle. They was doing other stuff outside WWE.
But that you know of.
Hold on.
Because I don't know that either.
When a contract wrestler wrestles around the indies as WWE wrestlers, unless they have to fulfill
not indies, but not so much indies, but couldn't you say the same about Good Brothers, because you don't really care for them like that?
But Good Brother was an Impact, New Japan, they was around the indies wrestling still. So with Sasha and Naomi, what else did they did to make them feel like they belong in the top 20? Nothing.
Well, I guess whoever is a part of the committee disagrees and when they had those conversations, they thought about other things that could have played into them being in that top 20.
I understand what you're saying. You said, hey, they became the first ever black women's tag team champions. Cool. Okay. Second, they went on WrestleMania. Okay. Okay.
See, but the same thing could be said about because I don't, and it's not a diss to, once again, New Japan or see, MLL or AAA or any of that stuff. I don't watch that. So I can say the same about anybody that's on the list that I was like, I don't know who the fuck they are.
This is why
and
I
what
didn't
do they
comment
do?
on them, because I have no right to comment on them.
Right.
But something I know a large wealth of knowledge, I could comment on it. Yes, it's good for them to be on our list. I applaud it. But it's just like, huh? Why? You feel me?
Well, they had I don't
like the Briscoes.
I don't feel like
the Briscoes is banned from television, but they have been getting busy around them.
They low key about to win these tag team titles. It's hilarious. But let's see, the Good Brothers. They probably is he sad? I can't see it. You have to read it.
It's a clause in their contract. Well, the list was pretty on point.
Someone said Mania for Sasha Banks was a real big dough, and that was all they needed. Bullshit. Bullshit. That's not enough.
I'm biased because I was there. I saw it. I felt it. So it's a little different.
If that's the case, how come what's that girl? Natalia and Tamina was not on that list last year then? Okay. Quiet though, right? They were WrestleMania though, right? So why wasn't Bianca? Come on. Do not use that.
But the thing is though, is who's to say that, like, if you pull it up, who's to say they weren't on it? Or they could have been lower.
Boy, so
I only said 20.
Why was not Zack Ryder in the top 20 when he won the IC title at WrestleMania?
You are asking about
if you
the nigga that you love,
no, it's true,
and
though.
that you feel like is above and beyond anything. You're asking questions from a committee of people that have looked at things, and that's what their decision was. You are gonna disagree or agree. That's what these lists are for. The lists are for you guys to be like, yo, actually, I would rather this, I would rather that. They're conversation pieces. They're not the end all or be all. And I think that's why we take, like, everybody has an issue with lists. It's like, yo, you can't take that shit personally. You can't take that shit any type of way. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying in general. Everybody always makes it's an up and down roller coaster ride with lists or whatever the case might be. This is what PWI presented. You're gonna agree with some. You're gonna disagree with some. This is the point of why we do what we do.
Listen, at the end of the day, the bloodline is the greatest fashion of all time.
I don't agree, but you gonna stand by that, and that's cool.
Yeah,
I'm not.
The only thing that make them because like if if something happened in God forbid, they would be a Hall of Fame automatically, like this year with Vince McMahon.
Speaking about bloodline, did you see Umaga's son started training at Reality of Wrestling?
Yeah,
come on.
I think that's pretty dope.
The legacy continues,
and I think it's super dope that they did that, like, homage to Umaga this past week on Raw. And a lot of people kind of was in the uproar. I felt like on the internet, and it was just like, listen,
why would it uproar for him?
Because people don't understand the context of things. Like, they just saw him doing the spike, they saw him doing, Umaga's moves, and was just like, what the fuck going on? Not understanding that it had been almost 13 years since Umaga had passed. So that was the reason why he did it the way that he did it.
But outside of that, he basically does niggas overthink wrestling too much.
Well, the thing is, I don't think it should have been a big deal because that's his family.
Right.
Yeah.
Regardless.
How many times people do homages to, like, Eddie Guerrero?
But even if it's not a homage, bro, that's my dad. That's my uncle.
Right.
Exactly.
Like that's family. So
God forbid something happened to you. I'm gonna adapt your spine bust at my signature.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. People are so weird.
But I mean, that's just what it is.
You know, a place that no one's weird at? The Fallout Shelter. If you want quality training, you want quality people to push you. You want champions from different part of wrestling. The Fallout Shelter. You get shine, baby. You get work.
Oh, Mikey asked Tamina and Natalya name a feud that they had.
No, I'm talking about
was memorable.
This was based on someone said
I'm
earlier.
I'm just asking you the question
Yeah,
that he
like
asked.
it's based on what someone said earlier in the comments. They said Naomi and Sasha Banks, they went on WrestleMania. That's all they needed. So I said, if that's the case, why wasn't Tamina and Natalya on the list? Because they went on WrestleMania. If you're just going based on that, that's what I'm saying, Mikey, my Seymour's brother.
But you didn't answer his question. His question was, what's a feud or anything that happened the year that was memorable when they won the titles after they won?
Yeah, but I could say the same thing about Sasha and Naomi.
That's fine. But I'm just saying, his question is not being answered. So I'm just saying.
I ain't gonna front. So the Sasha is solo whoop. So what's next on the agenda?
I don't know. I talked to you guys earlier this morning I had randomly watched, and I don't know, YouTube plays this wonderful Russian roulette game with me. I had watched a video, really was watching me at first, of the build up between Ric Flair and Undertaker building up to their WrestleMania match. And I looked at it and I was like, this is such an underrated feud that no one talks about. Because it was so magically done. Like the fact that Rick was in that, like, I'm an owner now, I'm not wrestling anymore, which is hard to believe. So that was the kind of gist he was giving. And then Taker, because this is like American Badass Taker at this point. So this is like Dead Man. This is like Dead Man Taker, like American Badass. So motorcycle Taker. So Taker comes and he's like, I want to challenge you at WrestleMania. And Rick is like, yo, I don't want no smoke. I'm an owner, blah, blah, blah. And he was just like, I'm going to make you say yes. And I kept saying, I was like, yo, I remember, but I don't remember how, like, strategic it was. And then it was like every week leading up to when he fucked up Arn Anderson, which I had to forgive Taker for. He fucked up Arn Anderson, made him bleed in the middle of the ring just to get Ric Flair to say, I will face you at WrestleMania. He went through all that shit. So the build up between that match is, we don't get to talk about it. So I wanted to bring to the table a little bit of, and those are watching on a live feed, you can join in as well. What are some underrated feuds that we don't really talk about that, that really still sticks with you to this day?
Go ahead, Mr. Black.
No,
you rubbing your hands.
You rubbed your hands.
All right, how much can we give?
5. Give 5.
Ooh. That's a lot. I don't even got that.
Number 1. No particular order. My favorite personal feud no one talks about is my personal favorite feud is Dolph Ziggler.
How did I know you was gonna mention Ziggs? I knew it. Because
Zig is underrated.
I felt it in my
Dolph
bones.
Ziggler is probably the most underrated wrestler in the past 20 years.
Yeah.
Yo, when Ziggs popped up on Raw, and we'll get to that. I popped. I was like,
Right.
oh, Ziggy.
Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz. Title versus career. When he won, underrated.
Okay.
LA Knight versus my son Cameron Grimes for the $1 million
I love me
title.
some Cameron Grimes.
Underrated.
Speaking about
Underrated feud.
NXT's real quick, NXT's going back on the road for their premium live events. Their first one will take place the weekend after the Royal Rumble, February 3rd in Charlotte, North Carolina. NXT Vengeance Day. Tickets, I believe, are going on sale next Friday. And it's going to be at the Spectrum Center. So they're going back on the road officially, with that being the first premium live event.
So,
but go ahead.
Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz.
Mm-hmm.
The second one, LA Knight versus Cameron Grimes.
Okay.
Edge versus Booker T for the shampoo commercial.
That's wild. I don't even remember that shit.
Who?
Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz.
I don't even remember
Career versus title. Second one, I said LA Knight versus Cameron Grimes.
Okay.
Booker T versus Edge for the shampoo commercial.
Definitely don't remember that. I definitely don't remember that.
Of course,
but
underrated. Shout out to Tamina. No one's Mina.
Oh, come on now.
New nickname alert. Mean Tamina. Got it. Perfect. Boom. That's number 3. Number 4 is I love this. Like maybe that shit made me cry, son. There's a couple people made me cry. Dang it. Oh my gosh. Oh, nobody really talks about it when it happened. It was brief. It was super brief. Dang. It's my bad. It's mad feuds going on. Honorable mention. O'Shea versus Big Time Yaya. Ooh! I hate you, O'Shea. I hate you.
It's more of a match. It wasn't a feud.
There's a feud, B.
In your mind. Not on paper.
Niggas who know O'Shea versus Yaya, you know that.
Nigga, it was one match. That's your moment. So I'm gonna let you have it.
You feel me? Oh no. Scratch that. Underrated any feud right now that happened. It's 2 of them. Put them together. Isaiah Wolf versus Lala Ruthless and Will Bryan versus Big Time Yaya. That was an underrated feud. That's my honorable mention. The Usos versus the New Day.
Oh, that's not underrated.
That's underrated? All right,
no.
cool.
That's probably one of the best tag team feuds of all time.
Oh,
to be honest with you,
how can I forget this? Best of 7, Chris Benoit versus Booker T in WCW. Underrated. To me, underrated is not talked about enough.
Whoever says Cena, Mark Henry, who is it? Put your name on it.
Underrated feud. I know no one really talk about it. Eddie Guerrero versus John Cena. Classic feud, B. Classic feud, son. Or matter of fact, Eddie Guerrero versus anybody. Eddie Guerrero versus Big Show. Kirk. Ooh.
I think it's Janelle's.
I'm
you have to understand, like, I love Eddie underrated. Matter of fact, scratch the last one. MVP versus Matt Hardy. That is an underrated feud. Ooh. Kirk Angle versus Desmond Wolf in TNA. Fire. Jeff Hardy versus
to be honest, Kurt, low key, Kurt versus Jeff Jarrett. And hit back for the love of Karen.
Yo, she's such a sweetheart.
He's so nice. Like, honestly speaking, so nice.
Dang,
such a nice person.
So
when we met her, she was super nice.
Dang, son.
Let me see. I can only think of 3 right now. I'll figure out 2 more. Of course, like I mentioned, Flair and Taker.
Of course.
It just go back and watch
the 4 Horsemen versus Dusty.
No.
I'm surprised.
No. Because if that was the case, I would have just said Rick and Dusty. Or Rick and Steamboat.
Yo,
I can say
Dusty.
Actually, Macho and Steamboat.
Ooh.
Macho and Steamboat is definitely under. Is not
versus Eddie Kingston.
It's not talked about a lot.
Perk Angle versus.
So my only grip with the Jericho Kingston feud was I felt like even though Eddie won, it almost felt like he won the battle but not the war.
Yeah, he did.
So it didn't really. I feel like in those type of wins, it's supposed to elevate you on a different level. Like whether it was he gonna be the next person to win a title, like I felt like they just became very like doo after that happened, and it was just like I don't know if it was because they picked up Cesaro and they had to squash their little beef or whatever the case might be. So it's really weird.
Chris Sabin versus Petey Williams.
Shout outs to Petey Williams taking that fucking spear this week on Raw though. Woo!
Oh,
okay.
Yo, how to forget Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley in Impact?
Because I want to forget about it.
What?
My other one, Kofi and Orton.
Ah.
I feel like people don't really talk about, and really people didn't really
energy.
feel about it until when Kofi was champion, and they kind of reignited that feud again, which I thought was dope. The other one I can think about is actually Randy versus Mick Foley. Because I really
underrated, is it?
People don't really talk about it. You know, I feel like people will talk about Mick and Triple H's feud going up to that Rumble versus more of Randy and Mick having that feud. Even I feel like they will talk about Edge and Mick before they talk about Randy and Mick.
That is true. Oh,
just me.
Another feud that no one talks about is Randy Orton versus Undertaker.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Not for nothing. Orton is the king of fucking feuds.
Yes.
Let me explain something to y'all. Randall done been thrown out of his own house. He done bleed. He done blood, sweat, and tears a feud. Like,
his wife and
Randall, he done kicked everybody in the McMahon family. Like, still has a job after that. Like,
how this nigga infiltrated as a cop, infiltrated someone's meth lab and blew it up, B.
Yo, Randy Orton, honestly, the king of feuds.
Yo,
I
nigga went
put
to
that
Supernatural
in.
and fought a demon and won, B. That nigga's different, B.
Yeah,
he fought 2 demons.
Not
Bray and Undertaker. Yo, my nigga's the king of. Yo, don't forget, he's the king of Survivor Series.
Randall is out here in these streets, low key. Last 20 years, just always pocketing somewhere.
Underrated
and it's
feuds,
so
B.
dope.
Dang,
because
son.
even with the loss, he still was able to still elevate not only the person and
that
him.
No one talks about it. Ray Orton versus the voices in his head.
I'm fucking asleep.
Come on, B.
So, Wilkins, what's some feuds you feel like we don't talk about as much?
Huh?
The Rock versus Mick Foley. The Rock versus Shamrock. The Rock.
Those are all good ones.
Actually, Rock and Shamrock, actually.
Fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
I'm not going to hold
Those are
y'all.
all good ones.
Rock and Shamrock is it don't get talked
Those
about.
are all good
that
ones.
was a good
The
one.
Rock versus WWE for his name.
was a good one.
I still will forever not like that Rocky that William beat Rock right after that Mania.
Yo, how they fired him because they didn't believe his Hollywood career?
I can't fuck with it.
Like, forever and ever.
Somebody said Taker versus Taker is underrated.
Yo, that's a fact though, bud. You fight your own demon, son.
That shit was good.
How about Taker versus the whole roster?
My favorite underrated one.
He went to heaven, or his mind is set to the sky, and I'm watching like
WWE production in like the 93, 94. What the fuck were y'all thinking?
No, my top unrated feuds are Vince McMahon versus God.
Oh, that is fire.
Vince McMahon versus God, son.
Yo, he went to the church and went.
Yo, bro. He fought God.
He did a promo challenging God,
son.
And then he talked shit about him on a promo as God came down the ramp. Come on, Vince McMahon versus God is probably one of the greatest underrated feuds of all time.
Said that, yo, if God can free you from your sins, dang, only he can help you in this match. He got his ass whooped and said, you know what, only person who helped you was God. So I want God in the match. Yo, son, I don't care what anyone says. That's when wrestling is the most fun is, son. Just suspend belief, be a little racist, but do it like, funny racist.
It shouldn't be racist. But
no, racist, no.
But Big Boss Man versus Big Show.
Yo. The fact that they allowed him to say his daddy done passed, had the funeral, had Big Boss Man come.
Wait. Hold up.
And drag the casket.
Wait. Hold up. Hold
what
up.
the
So Big Show daddy didn't die?
No. Sorry, kayfabe was real.
But that's the whole point.
But at that time,
shit was
at
crazy.
that time, you couldn't tell anybody nothing.
So Big Show daddy didn't die for real?
No, not at that moment. No.
So Steve Blackman versus Shane McMahon.
Yo.
I gotta change my list.
Steve Blackman versus Shane
Steve Blackman was like low-key a hidden gem in that time period.
He was one of the top greatest mid-card wrestlers of all
legit,
time.
Legit.
The nigga fought Owen Hart in his dad's basement.
He fought Ken.
In his dad's basement.
He fucking
his dad's basement that he used to get punishment and go down there.
Yo, and the hottest thing honestly was the entrance. By far, like that between the theme song and one nigga came out. He came out like
Bumpy.
Yo, let me find that shit real quick.
So another one.
Somebody said Big Boss Man and Al Snow. That
Another one
when
was
he made him eat the dog. That was Boss Man was fucked up.
Val Venus versus Kai and Tai.
Whoa.
Choppy.
Yo.
I gotta watch that Raw tonight.
How you smashed your sister and made a porno out of it,
do me a favor. When you go back and watch that, like, build up to... It wasn't even, like, a build up to anything. It just was a storyline, low-key. But listen to the King's commentary when fucking... What was the name? What was the guy's name? That, not Taka. The one that's wife was smashing Val. What was his name? Whatever the fuck his name was. He was on commentary. Never forget the Raw. He was on commentary with Jerry the King Lawler and JR. And the King goes, so how do you feel about Val Venus fucking your wife? Like, just like smashing your wife. Like, how do you, like, just straight up. And it was just like, how is this on TV? What are we doing?
Wait, so let's go to the audience real quick, man.
Dean Malenko versus Lita. I don't like Lita.
Triple H versus Katie Vick. Kane versus
too much.
Kane versus Shane.
Benoit and Kurt. I can fuck with.
Big
Shane
Boss Man versus Al Snow.
Oh, someone said Shane versus KO. Dean Malenko versus Lita. I remember that. Shane versus Angle. Don Marie versus Al Snow.
We can even
Wilson.
go Chyna and Jeff Jarrett.
Oh yeah,
that was
yeah.
Ray versus Cody.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, he damaged his face?
Yeah, they used that real life thing. That was fire.
Yeah.
Oh, another underrated.
That's a time.
Rey Mysterio versus Chris Jericho.
Yamaguchi, yes. That was his name.
So
Yamaguchi.
This is my one. This is like a WCW days. Perry Saturn versus Raven.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, Perry Saturn with that fucking mop.
Oh, Jericho, Jackie versus Chavo. I remember that. Yeah. For the IC title.
Yeah.
Dang. The Young Bucks versus Mercy Machine Gun Best of 7. Yo, they really like wrestling Best of 7. Dang. But Tisa versus
But
Ray,
that's
that
why
was good.
it's funny because actually Tony had mentioned it, I think, on an interview recently, how he felt like how Eric Bischoff was coming at him crazy, but what they're doing in AEW, they used to do in WCW, but it was just like, bro, that's why he's saying it. They're not in business anymore.
So, Big Wilkes. Go ahead with your list, Big Dog.
Oh, DDP versus Raven. I don't remember that. Okay.
DDP versus Macho Man.
Okay, that was a good match, yeah.
I think that's for the most part mine for the most part. Now on the indie scene, like they're not really feuds, but it's like there were like quality build-ups to them.
Mm-hmm. So
Darius Carter versus
let's talk about indie feuds. Yeah, let's go with that one.
Trisha Dora.
Oh, hell yeah.
That was a really good match.
Hell yeah.
Which they had fire going into it. They had fire coming out of it. What else?
Darius and just like Randy, Darius is the king of feuds on the indie scenes, to be honest, because he has one going. He had one going with Billy once upon a time. He had one. I believe is facing Faye in February at Vibe. But Darius can definitely.
So to anyone
like,
listening
really
right
anybody.
now, live or whatever, your favorite independent wrestling feud?
Vince versus the Feds, but Vince won that.
Yeah. He stayed winning the
won
Feds.
that twice.
Yeah.
But it's
Vince
one of those
versus COVID protocol.
How about COVID versus the world? Shit. That shit took us by a storm. We also can't forget Raven versus Tommy. I mean, it's not underrated.
Yeah.
But no, actually, that's not underrated. But like one of my favorites is definitely Sabu and Taz on the ECW on the ECW side of things.
So
I will say, or really Shane Douglas versus anybody in that fucking company too.
So
it's hilarious.
What do you got on indies?
So who else? What else
It's
on
so
the
hard,
indies?
'cause
There's no real feuds
per se.
But
unless you guys on the live feed know of some, then you can let us know.
I would say main event in the Briscoes.
Yeah, that's a good feud. Yeah.
Because even though it's just been a series of matches, but they've cut quality promos, and that's something that you gotta appreciate.
Don't
when it comes.
Don't forget the main event versus the Sea Stars.
Yeah, but I wasn't. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Mason and on Broadway. I can get with that because they were building that up for over a year.
So that's another one.
Cam Leroy versus Ken Broadway.
Well, listen. Shout out to House of Glory understanding storytelling.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Brian and the team over there.
And then also another one that I thought was really good. It's it's kind of old because they fought multiple times. Loki versus Amazing Red.
Yeah, good. Oh, don't forget Big Ken Leroy versus Ken Broadway. That's another good feud. Don't forget oh, how can I forget? Jobbertears South versus Prolific.
The feud that never stops.
So I think there's been a couple of good feuds going on. So to pull back, I really want MJF and Ricky Starks to grow.
Let's talk about this weekend wrestling
because I had some issues with the promo.
I felt like it was a little too long.
It wasn't too long. It was Let's just take it out of context. Like in general, it was a good promo. Yeah. I'm not gonna hate it, but we're a podcast. We have to poke holes into shit. That's the whole point. My whole thing is that it low key felt personal.
Oh yeah.
And it didn't showcase or hype up MJF.
Okay, so I feel you on that because I felt the personalness actually added the spiciness that I needed, but I felt like it low-key, I don't want to say buried.
It did nothing for MJF.
It didn't validate MJF as the champion.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you honestly did not know that let's say there was no title involved, no nothing, and you just watched that promo, you would have thought Ricky Starks was the fucking champion. If you not knowing nothing, you would have been like, yo, he's defending his belt. So when you look back, and it's funny you said it because I felt that too. I was like, I said, MJF doesn't look strong going into this with this promo like that because he gave him that fire. Listen,
but it's
gave him that.
So the thing with that is people like spicy. right? People's like, oh, this is spicy. This is something edgy, whatever. But you want you to be excited about the match. So the reason why I say that is because let's say I don't know dirt sheet stuff. I just turned on the TV. It was like, oh, let me watch some TV. What's going on here? What's going on here? Let me turn on the television. And you're listening to the Ricky Starks and the MJF promo. Your first thought is going to be, oh, he ain't going to say nothing back, really? This dude's a chump. Because the whole point of you cutting a promo is to build yourself up and build the match up. Because you're trying to convince the audience that you have a quality opponent. That this doesn't, and then I felt that Ricky, Ricky had so much passion. I think it was a lot of shit he was holding back, and he was built up from some personal stuff and how he felt he was being treated in AEW. That's exactly what that promo came off across. Now, at the same time, this is the reason why you got to have somebody go over promos with somebody.
No, you was wrong. I definitely have to disagree with you because MJF's covered that. MJF's talked about, like, yo, I'm going for the championship. I'm going to be 3-time and 4-time ring. Hold that. He addresses everything that was going on in the match. He assaulted him and everything. You call him Pebbles and all of that. So now he's on some, what? You call me Pebbles? I'm coming at your neck. Because he knows MJF has so much momentum coming in that he's fine on niggas.
But it wasn't a babyface promo.
But then again, to you. Because to somebody you see, this is where I agree with you in the sense of, but this is kind of like, yo, this is how things are. Yo, back in the day, we are so used to WWE rules where how many times that the babyface got buried, didn't say nothing, like, ugh. So now there's some, you know what, there's something different. Not all the time the heel's gonna be the top of the promo. Not all the time the heel's gonna be the top of the promo. Just like in real life. Sometimes honestly, sometimes in real life, right? If I'm going back and forth, let's say I had like a nemesis at the job. We used to go spar matches back and forth. Some days he got the best of me. Other days I got the best of him.
But the match is next week. That's my issue.
You said that you are only going on Ricky Starks. You didn't build up the match that MJF did.
But so the thing about it takes two to tango.
So question. After listening to the promo and seeing the segment, who did you believe more, Ricky or MJF?
I like Ricky because Ricky spoke with more passion. Obviously, the one who spoke with more passion is going to do that. That's not Ricky's fault.
No, I'm not saying that it's nobody's fault.
You know you're going to get
But I'm just saying, as MJF being champion, I think the latter of the two, I feel like Ricky came out on top.
It's okay, but it's okay for him calling him like, yo, go back to YouTube and wrestle for the NWA. You insulted me like, yo, NWA, what? You trying to insult the NWA?
I mean, actually, it's not an insult. NWA actually put Ricky Starks on the map, which ended up getting him the contract.
That's what I'm saying.
So it wasn't really a diss.
No, but it's the diss to him. Like, yo, you trying to insult my company, so I'm gonna come at your neck. I'm gonna end you.
But the thing
That's it.
But the thing is, he diminished Ricky's too. That's what I'm trying to say.
But that's what I'm saying. You agree with me?
No. It's they're both wrong. That's the problem with it. Because if I'm looking in, I'm like, yo, this dude's a bum. You just call this guy a bum without calling him a bum. Because this is what wordplay is about. This is not trying to, and Ricky said it too, low key. He's like, you're trying to catch cheap heat. That's the thing about MJF sometimes. Yeah, he is one of the best promo. He is one of the
exposed him in that promo.
Yeah, he's one of the best promo guys in there, but you're catching cheap because that NWA comment could have went a different direction. I can send you back to YouTube. You've built yourself up and you came back to AEW, but I can send you right back to that YouTube thing. You in the big leagues. There's many ways you can know.
I don't understand.
But this is wordplay.
But
because
I
understand what you're saying. We're like, yo, just a fire promo. But sometimes you got to look at the psychology behind it. Because you're too smart. I'm too smart. Janelle's too smart. When I'm watching a promo, I got to understand, like, yo, it's two behemoths going up against each other. Like, for instance, Yuta, when he was cutting a promo with MJF, he got eaten alive.
So
No.
right?
And I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you why that was bad.
That wasn't okay.
Because he got eaten alive because he just out-promoted him. And then Yuta tried to come back with some heel stuff that didn't fit his character at all.
I understand
and then it was just bad.
But I understand that, but at some point, I get it. We all friendly with buddy though. But at some point, step your game up. And I understand where you're coming from.
I don't even think them niggas is friendly.
But I understand where your guys is coming from. But at the end of the day is wrestling fans are funny. Y'all always talk about how that when the people have spicy, it's all good and all. But yet, y'all people who in wrestling want to debunk it. Oh, he didn't do this right. He didn't do this right. He didn't do this right. This is nitpick it. At the end of the day, let me compare it to Floyd versus Conor McGregor. There been times that Conor McGregor ate that nigga on the mic. Floyd, same thing. But guarantee, no matter if you're a Floyd fan, you want to see Floyd get back at the match. You're a Conor fan, you want to see Conor get back in the match. So that's how I'm applied to this whole Ricky Starks versus MJF. Hold on. Because you're in the business, you're gonna nitpick it. But hold on. I understand what both of y'all are saying. Psychology wise, blah 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 blah. But now I'm looking at the person with third party point of view. If I'm a new fan, I'm looking like, ooh, that nigga Ricky Starks spoke with passion. Da-da-da-da. Mind you, I know nothing about the business. He spoke with passion. Oh, that spear? All right, cool. I'm interested. We have YouTube. Let me go back to this MJF dude, this, that, third. Because he didn't say nothing. Like, he did cut a fire promo. But I understand what both of y'all are saying,
I think if somebody for the first time, though, I think they would look up Ricky more than MJF, though.
And that's fine.
But the thing is MJF's the champion, though.
But it doesn't matter. Either way, I'll give you guys an example, right? Let's say with this group, right? We all have an individual audience. Certain people will come to a Jobber Slam for my brother. Certain people will come for you. Certain people will come for me. It does not matter because they all coming to see that match.
But it's so let me go back to that the comparison made with Floyd Mayweather and you said with Conor McGregor.
Yes.
They at the time they were the greatest of their sport.
Okay.
So you already know that two Goliaths go up against each other. So yeah, one person ate each other alive, and then they also had a up and down, up until the moment type of thing. So it was the center. They were setting the stage because they were going back and forth. They don't have that Ricky and MJF because the match is next week.
So I have a question in terms of, and this is actually what kind of like grind my gear about. It actually confused me. And then when Ricky won, I was just like, well, what was the point in this? Because we could have held off on this part. So do you think it was the best move to do that ring battle royal for the ring thing and then have Ricky win it, so now it's a 2-for-1 deal type of situation? Or should they have held off at least until after the MJF and Ricky match?
No, they always do it around the same
time. They
always do it.
I don't know.
It's tradition.
It was too much.
No, but it's tradition.
It was too much.
But it's tradition because last year MJF did the same thing.
No, I get the tradition part. I get the whole like this is the time of the year to do it, but it just it feels like too much.
But
like
it's just like you want MJF to be that heel that you say, ooh, what the hell? 4 years in a row.
But the thing though is that he's not the heel.
Ooh.
And he's not. MJF is not. You have people that he cheered. They cheer for him.
And that's wrestling fans' fault.
But the point is though he doesn't, and that's why Ricky exposed him and said you get cheap heat because he don't get real heat because he's not a heel.
Guess what? That's MJF fault.
But then the thing about it, why? But this is my thing. Why bring up wrestling terms? You know what I mean? Like, why say cheap heat? Why say this and that? Like, he could have, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, take that out. The promo was phenomenal. There was passion, there was charisma, there was all of that. But why talk wrestling terms?
Like you said, many weeks.
Oh, but because that's their fan base, though.
Exactly.
And they would have known what he was talking about. But to the person that's just turning it on for the very first time, niggas would have been confused.
But the thing about it, be creative.
But that's what anything. It's just like with certain terms in boxing, right? If them two going at it, right? They promo-wise, they're going to say certain boxing terms.
I understand that. But at the same time, be creative. That's the point I'm trying to.
It's like cursing in promos.
It's like, be creative instead of using.
It's like saying bitch all the time in a promo. I forgot who was doing that for a very long time. Somebody was like cursing in like every one of their promos, and it was just like, you didn't need to do that, like to get your point across.
Yeah, because Ricky's better than that, and I knew there was some type of anger behind it.
Nah, he came smoke
because and
blazing.
There's plenty of things in there because, like for instance, the brown nose comment, right? Mm-hmm. You're pulling the curtain even more.
Yo, he said
that's
the darkest part of your body.
Yo, and this is the part I be saying, son. I don't understand. Like you super nitpicking, dogs.
But that's the point of what we talking about.
But the thing about it, I'm just saying from my point of view, from me understanding.
That's not fair, because that's like if you were watching, let's say. That's like you saying you watching a promo and you have different opinions and different things that throughout the promo that affected you or that hit you a certain way. That's the same thing.
I don't know. I just feel like because, all right, it's nitpicking because in the heat of it, you're going off like straight instant right away. You understand? So me going back like this, I just feel like this is too much nitpicking because my thing is this. We have all these rules in wrestling, but yet when you do follow it to the T, oh, he didn't do this enough. He didn't do that enough. He didn't do that enough. I'm looking like, yo, bro.
Nothing is ever perfect.
I do understand what you're saying, though. It's kind of like saying this way. This is how I kind of see wrestlers as you judge their body of work as albums, right? You may like the Weeknd album, but it may be like, this is an album of 10. You like the body of work, but it's certain albums that you nitpick at. You still like it, but you're saying that I just like this, but overall I still like this.
Oh, that's how niggas feel about J. Cole.
That's what. No, I'm asking you.
No, I understand.
No, I'm asking you. That's what you're doing.
Saying, listen,
I'm asking you.
Listen. It was good, but I'm looking at it because I look at Ricky Starks. I have higher standard for Ricky Starks. I'm not looking at him as a run-of-the-mill wrestler because if he was some indie dude or some new guy on AEW, it was not a big deal. I hold him to a higher standard because you know why? He's the next coming. The standard that I hold him to is very high, and I know he could have done even a better promo and he's a better wordsmith than that. The entire promo came off, I am heated. And the thing about it, you gotta love it because he used his passion and his frustration with what you can tell was happening within the company, and he brought it out. But he could have played even better. Now, yes, you talked about MJF doing his thing and all this other stuff, but there comes to a point where, and maybe this is just me because I can't fuck with MJF. He's solid, he's good. But when it comes to him being a heel, he's just a big fish in a small pond.
Who, MJ?
Yeah.
Maxi Pad?
Yeah, because
that was funny.
Because there's not that many legit heels in the industry.
Correct. And that's why like you get like people don't give like people like Baron Corbin props. They don't give Miz props like that. Like that shit gets overcited, but they get heat. Carter. They get heat. Well, I cheer for him, so I guess that's a little different. But that's the point.
Oh, and that okay. You just said something.
Yeah, I cheer for him.
You cheer for him because you like him.
Yes.
That's not his fault.
I'm not blaming him.
But this goes back to what we were saying earlier about MJF that he's not a real heel.
But I'm not blaming him either.
Well, yeah, but you're saying that.
But I'm just saying.
But y'all saying that he's not a real heel. But you just said something that I cheer for Darius Carter. So it's not his fault.
No one said it was his fault.
But why are you making a knock against MJF?
I'm making a knock to him about not he instead of getting real heat, he prefers getting cheap heat. Darius, different. He gets real heat because he does real heel shit.
Understand what you just said though.
And I'm telling you what I'm saying. I'm saying the difference is MJF gets cheap heat. He'll do cheap shit to get the heat for 2.5 seconds, and then the next thing you know, niggas is cheering for him. It's different, me personally, because I like Darius the person, so it's very different. But Darius Carter, the wrestler that's playing a heel character, he will kick your child that's in the front row and not give a fuck. And keep it pushing. That's what a heel would do. And guess what? They people around that and that experiences that, they're not cheering. They what? They boo him.
So it's kind of like this way: is it's kind of like when I'm, correct me if I'm wrong, all right? I'm the audience right now. I'm a third person listening. You're saying this, right? MJF does not work hard for his heat. Like, he do shit just to pop people. I hate you, and then after that, he does something cool and like make you cheer him.
Yeah.
No, I don't think.
I do.
I'll take.
I do, because for the instance of him when he came back and he was like, "I'm the devil." What did them niggas do? They cheered for him. He said he was the devil, and they cheered for him.
So let me ask you guys a question. Question to the table right now. A question everybody's left. A question to the table, right? Why you think that MJF is not a good heel?
So this is my thing. I don't think he's a bad heel.
Okay.
I generally don't
think.
no.
Better question. Wait, shit.
No.
I mean, better question. And to get in a better feel. What is stopping MJF to be the best heel in the game?
The thing about it, he technically is.
Okay.
Because at this point, nobody is a heel. And I've always said this all the time. People like heels.
Okay.
People like heels.
Mm-hmm.
That's what people like. So that's why he's always going to get cheers. Now, he says it's to a point he's borderline cool.
Someone just said that.
He's borderline cool, so he says cool stuff. He says cool stuff, and then he gets people to pop because that's what it is. Now, Baron Corbin he's a great heel.
Yeah.
Because nobody likes him.
Correct.
So who's the better heel, MJF
he gets shit.
or Baron Corbin?
I would say Baron Corbin.
Technically, yes, it's Baron Corbin on a technical basis. But in the modern day, you can argue MJF. Because he technically does heel shit. It's just that it's cool heel shit.
So then it's not heel shit.
So
it's cool shit.
The question. So Max, we got both guys the question.
But the thing about it is,
so who's the better heel in your eyes? Baron Corbin or MJF?
Corbin.
I would go with Corbin. But the thing about it, MJF is just doing what most people don't want to be a heel.
It's obvious, yeah.
Most wrestlers in the business don't want to be a heel because they want to be liked.
So why you think that everybody don't want to be a true heel?
Because we're
no.
Because the modern day wrestlers are millennials.
No one's gonna sign on for a real heel.
Because the modern day wrestlers are millennials, and everybody wants to be liked.
No one's gonna sign on for that.
Everybody wants to be like, nobody wants to get booed.
It actually is the John Cena effect. That's really what it is. How everybody, like, yes, you would love to see, of course, everyone would die to see Jonathan Cena as a heel, but what would that do for anybody? What would that do for John Cena? Not a damn thing. So what's the point? But it's interesting because in watching Dynamite last night and in watching the main event, which was for the tag team titles, I felt like FTR were the heels in the match because they were doing heel stuff. So if you watch it and you watch carefully, like even grabbing the tights, something throwing, I think it was Max, throwing Max to the ring post and keeping him out of the ring. Like, they were doing the psychology of that match by far. Honestly speaking, I give credit where credit is due. Tony, you did good on that one because that probably was one of the best tag team matches, I think, on Dynamite because of the psychology in the match and how you felt like it was the roller coaster ride that you weren't anticipating to be on, that you was like, oh shit, I can fuck with this. So I appreciate that in that sense of having that balance of a heel and a face in a match, especially in a tag team match, because you want to be able to have that. You want to have that balance. You don't want, I mean, everybody at the end, there's a respect.
Y'all.
Hey, Steph. Shout out to Steph. She was out in LA on that women's panel. Shout outs to her. But that's the whole the gift and the curse though. But to be honest, AEW is not really built on heels and faces, and they said that really kind of from the beginning. So it's like we can assign people for those things, but like I said, for me, MJF, he don't get booed, he get cheered. Like niggas want Maxwell. But if it's funny because if you look back on his MLW stuff, that was a full blown heel. He was getting booed. He was getting all types of negative vibes.
But when you get too good, people start loving you. It's the same. It's the same with
Randall. Randall, after a certain point, it was just like, even though he was the bad guy, like niggas was still like fucking with him.
It's the same effect of like, live long enough, you see yourself become a villain. Live long enough, you see the villain become the hero. Because a lot of times you start understanding why the villain was doing villain shit.
Look at Tyson.
Yes. That's what happens a lot of times.
Look at George Bush.
Look at Robert Downey Jr.
George Bush.
Yeah.
People love him now.
Low key, if you ever watch Vice, that nigga was never the heel.
We know that, but the society.
Who, George Bush?
Yeah.
No, he was. It was Dick Cheney.
He was never the heel.
Whoa,
Watch Vice.
Whoa.
I thought you knew this already.
Yeah, never the bad guy.
Dick Cheney ran this.
Dick Cheney ran the company. The company. Look at me. The country.
Conspiracy glasses. So you're saying that?
Why do you have 2 pairs of shades?
First of all, these are regular glasses. These are my different world glasses.
Why do you have?
So let me get this straight. So you're saying that he was just a puppet?
Correct.
What?
Yeah.
So is it true that Dick Cheney had like construction companies overseas?
Yeah.
What?
All of that. Watch Vice and then watch. I think Zero Dark 30 touches on that.
What?
All those like American like movies like that that's around that time period. Super important to watch but Vice, hands down, is the one movie that will break that shit down for you. But yeah, no. That's why I was like, no, Judge Bush was not the heel. Even though that was what he was portrayed. Actually, that's a really good example. That's actually what he was portrayed as because he was the face of the country.
So,
but
like Trump.
He wasn't. Trump is really the heel on that one. Yeah. Trump is probably really the heel. Yeah, interesting times. But all right, what else? Let's talk about once again this week in wrestling a little bit more, and then we'll get into our predictions for NXT.
New
Deadline.
Day coming on NXT.
Let me tell y'all.
I showed my dick hard.
Let me. I can't even explain to y'all. I was washing my hands in the bath.
Wait a minute, I doing the Vince McMahon.
The Vince McMahon.
Oh, the documentary is next week.
No, it says Vice doing 2-part. Oh, Vince.
Yeah, the Vince documentary is next week, so we'll talk about it next week.
Oh yeah, live viewing.
But yeah, I like to watch things sometimes at the comfort of my home.
No, like, oh yeah.
What was I saying?
How great I am. Thank you, Janelle.
I didn't say that, but I mean you are, but I didn't say that. But no, New Day popping up on NXT this week. Total left field, but I love it.
Shout out to Big E.
I love that they did that. I love that and we've talked about this on other episodes, how they figured out a way to kind of like mix and mingle the main roster with NXT, and doing those things kind of helps elevate, honestly, the NXT brand more than anything, but it helps getting awareness to other talent that's on that brand that one would really like talk about.
Not ECW, basically.
I really think it's its own entity.
No. What I mean by that is when people went over to ECW, it was a big deal. Like seeing Big Show ECW. The beginning, you seeing this person do hardcore stuff in ECW. That's how I feel NXT is. It's like literally, I feel like they really have their own multiverse.
You know,
I didn't. Nah.
So you know it's hard because that ECW. So the ECW that I love and when it was ECW, was it like 2000 or whatever when they bought WCW and all that shit. And then ECW fell into that. That wasn't my favorite period of time at wrestling.
Oh, I know, but like reason why that was a big deal.
So like I didn't pop when like Big Show became ECW champion.
Yeah, it wasn't either, but like it was
none
just,
of that shit mattered.
It was good
to
because
me personally.
like NXT is shot differently. ECW is shot differently. You
well,
understand?
the thing is, ECW was a reincarnation of something else.
Okay.
So it didn't feel like a multiverse.
It was its own identity by itself, and it was kind of like rebirth. Yeah. But then it was just like
they incorporated the
this is not
universe.
This isn't what this originally was. Even though like it's the same name and a lot of the people that were on the originals on that, it wasn't the same. So that's why it's kind of hard.
So let me ask you a question. What one idea that you thought was brilliant that WWE needs to bring back? I'll go with first. Raw Underground.
Oh, we talked about that on the interview. That will be posted with the owner of CFU.
Description
which
below,
is really he was really dope. He was really cool. To be honest, it really would be King of the Ring for me. Like
they're right running back, Big Dogs.
No.
The pay-per-view.
Correct.
Okay.
And doing it the way that it used to be done, where you had the qualifiers on Raw or whatever, and then you had the semifinals, the final. You had the quarter, the semi, and then the finals all in one. Like if they did it in your house, like remake. And even if they had mixed NXT like people with like main roster people, that's cool. But no, for me, King of the Ring hands down.
What about you, Big Dogs?
Evolution.
The group or the
pay-per-view?
The pay-per-view? Oh, okay. I was like,
I would like to bring it back on a smaller scale.
They did run they had a small scale. That arena's not big.
Yeah, but
Nassau's pretty.
Nassau's an arena.
You get like at least 15,000, 16,000.
That's small compared to WWE though.
Yeah, but the thing about it, bring it on, put on in a smaller venue.
That's small though.
Yeah, but nobody's coming. But I want them to start building up that the women's division and get it more legit.
So do you think that, to add on what you're saying, do you think that it should have house specials, meaning to have that like televised house specials?
Like you mean like when they did Starrcade that year?
Just bring the buzz, like the buzz around it.
Yeah, like I think that they should just start doing more of that. I really think they should bring that Evolution pay-per-view back.
Yeah, Mikey said that they should do the Invasion over.
Babe, describe what you mean by that though.
With different oh yeah, but I think they should do a different company. That's a good idea. So my brother's saying that they should bring in Evolution to pay-per-view and bring on a smaller scale. You're saying that bring back what again?
I want King of the Ring back.
King of the Ring as a pay-per-view, and I said that bring back Raw Underground. So to anyone who's watching, another question is, what idea that WWE used to do that you want them to bring back?
But I guess other than that, what else was going on this week in wrestling? They did 2 triple threat matches to next week on Raw. They'll have the 1-on-1 to name the next person that's gonna go against Bianca Belair. I honestly want it to be Alexa Bliss because I think that'll help transition into the sister. She almost did fucking Sister Abigail on Raw, and that was wild. We had to go back. I had to go back on a clip and watch and see that happen because I was like, because Mikey had said that, and I was like, you're tripping. I was like, I don't think she did that. And then when I went back, I was like, she definitely almost did Sister Abigail. Holy shit. And then when they did the promo in the back, the TV screen started going back to the Braves logo and shit. It's wild. But they've kept to their word of continuing to keep you on this guessing kind of like goose chase of like what the fuck's going on thing kind of going on. But I'm glad Alexa won this week. And then who won on it? Was it Bailey that won? Yeah, Bailey won the other. So it'll be Bailey versus Alexa Bliss next week on Raw. They had Matt Riddle and Kevin Owens going against the Usos for the tag titles this week, and then coming up because Drew McIntyre is not clear to compete, Butch and Sheamus is gonna go for the undisputed tag titles this week on SmackDown. So we'll see what happens with that. What is your thoughts on Rico Booty winning the World Cup?
Fire,
guys.
Not a fan.
Really?
Haters, B.
I wanted my man to win.
Facts.
Who?
Santos motherfucking Escobar.
The
nigga that they wanted Del Rio to be and he could never be.
But
he gonna be better.
Like, he's good.
I get why though.
Yeah, he just got up there. But Rico needs some. Come on, man.
Nah, I want Escobar. I love Escobar.
I love him.
No,
yeah,
that was a good match though.
No, honestly, shout outs to motherfucking Adam Pearce for producing that match. So that was one of the best endings of SmackDown, I think, in a while. That was a really good match.
So what was your thought? Oh, yeah, we talk about Dynamite, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I guess on NXT. So yeah, NXT they had 2 qualifying matches for the last place in the Survivor. I was going to say Survivor of the Fittest, and that's not really what it is, because that's what we do. But for their last slots in the men and women's matches, so Aximum won on the men's side, which blew us away. We was like, whoa, because I definitely wanted Andrew Chase to win, hands down. But and then on the women's side, Indy Hartwell caught the last slot. And then she had a little actually like one-on-one promo with Mandy Rose. So it's interesting to see how they play with that.
How you feel about my nigga Scripps?
I love Scripps. I think it's hilarious. And you know what? That's what I love about NXT is it's the 2 hours in a week that I don't have to take wrestling serious.
I don't like
I can genuinely sit and watch characters be built. I can literally see
NXT champion facts.
But I think they may get called up a little sooner than later. A lot of shout outs to our DMV family because Raw was in DC this past Monday. They had said Trick Williams was on the main event match against Cedric Alexander. So they starting to get him out. They trying to. I think they're gonna make some moves soon. So I don't see Melo. I honestly see him coming up before getting a title because it's the same. It's interesting. Bianca, that happened to Bianca. Bianca couldn't win the NXT Women's title and then ended up getting called up.
But
and
Bianca
then,
was Bianca. She needed more
and
power.
Mello is Mello.
Yeah.
So, but all right, let's talk about. We are towards the end of the episode. Let's talk about Final Battle. So, Ring of Honor's last pay-per-view of the year is this Saturday afternoon, ladies and gents. Afternoon. It will be a 4:00 start time on the East Coast. Where they have, I'm gonna read you guys the matches, and you guys let me know what you think. I think it's so random that they had. Yo, what did you think about Darby Allin's match?
Fire. Another classic in his ass whooped.
And that's, are you okay with that?
Yeah, because that's like, you have to understand, that's a good, like, you know that how he can't compete with Samoa Joe hand to hand.
I don't know that.
Huh? But
that,
you look
though.
at Darby, you know he's scrappy. And it makes Samoa Joe look good and dominant, but in a good way.
But then when he beat Brody King, what did that mean?
Huh?
When he faced Brody King and beat him, what did that mean?
Brody King whooped his ass the first time.
Yeah.
He's all about, I'm going to come back stronger. That's it.
You're okay with that? Okay.
Because his wrestling happened, yeah.
It was a good squash.
Yeah.
It was a fun.
Yeah,
okay.
Because now, for example, not all the time your team's going to win dominantly. Not all the time that your team's going to win, you know, in the most, oh my God, this is the best game in the life. Sometimes you don't get your ass whooped.
Okay. If y'all okay with it, if you're okay with it, I'm okay with it. I low-key want better for Darby. And then also, too, apparently they don't have nothing creative for Miro, so that's why he's not on TV.
He's doing a movie.
No, he's literally, like, not doing anything. He's literally ready to compete, and they don't have anything creative. If you want to pay me to
sit at home to get Mrblacc, okay, dickheads.
Good luck with that.
Asses.
All right, so
it's very interesting because they got a really bloated roster.
Bloated is an understatement. So all right, Ring of Honor once again. They have all titles on the line. So we have the Ring of Honor. They just had announced this earlier today. The Ring of Honor 6-man title match will be Dalton Castle, who I love. Shout out for him being on fucking Dynamite this week. I love Dalton Castle. Dalton Castle and the boys, who are the current 6-man tag team champions for Ring of Honor, and they're going against the Gates of Agony and Brian Cage representing the Embassy. So that'll be interesting. What do you guys do? We see new 6-man tag team champs going on?
Hopefully STP comes there.
Yeah.
Okay, I think you asking for a lot, but all right. We got the Ring of, which I thought was random as fuck, but I love me some Juice Robinson, so I'm just gonna sit and eat that. So we got for the television title, Samoa Joe versus Juice Robinson.
I forgot he signed to the company.
I don't think he signed.
You didn't sign to them, yeah?
I don't think he signed. No, I don't think so. But will we see a new television champion? No, probably not. But I love Juice Robinson. Tony, you caught a catch, girl. We have the returning of Shane motherfucking Taylor partnering with JD Griffin. So for those that don't know, both of them have been former tag team partners of Keith Lee. So that is the background story of that. So they're going against Keith Lee versus Shane Swerve Strickland. Swerving our girlery. So what do we see happening here? Do we see...
Come on, I'm going Shane Taylor.
Do we see Keith
winning.
Sutherland turning on Swerve in enough time for him to join Shane? Do we see Swerve trying to be the good guy?
Swerve turns on him, or the match ends. Then Keith Lee and Shane shake hands and they hug.
Juice is signed.
If Juice is signed, they are not using him at all. There's a lot of signed niggas that they not using, but okay. But all right. We have for the pure. I love pure matches. The Ring of Honor Pure Championship matchup: Daniel Garcia versus Wheeler Yuta.
Yuta? No, I think Daniel Garcia gonna win.
Yeah. Okay. I actually think Yuta may win. I actually liked that. I actually really liked that. You know, on William Regal's exit out of AEW, he low key put over Wheeler Yuta, and I think that was really dope. What do you think? Are we gonna see a new pure champ?
Yes, because they love Yuta.
Okay. We have for the Ring of Honor Women's
I like him as wrestling.
World title. I do too. He just can't talk. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. We got for the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship the returning Mercedes Martinez versus Athena. Definitely see Athena winning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
It's a better.
Yeah.
It's
It's unfortunate, but yeah. I don't know. I kind of been, y'all know how I've been feeling about her and her edges forever and a day, but I kind of like this little badass streak she's been kind of going on. She been coming with smoke, so I could kind of get with that. And then last but not least, we have for the Ring of Honor World title, and the stipulation goes, if Chris Jericho wins, then Cesaro joins the Jericho Appreciation Society. And then, are you okay over there?
I'm listening.
Okay. And then if Claudio wins, then he wins the world title. So who do we got?
Who do we have? Claudio.
I say Jericho.
I say Jericho too.
I say Jericho.
Why?
What if I become? I think slowly but surely they're gonna disband the Blackpool Combat Club. So I think this will be the first wave to do it.
I also think they should just get rid of this ROH title.
I just want better for ROH. If you're gonna do it, do it.
No,
do it
this
better.
this has been a complete waste of time.
Understand.
This ROH thing has been a complete waste of time. This is ECW all over again, and nobody's gonna admit it. Nobody is going to admit it because we want the best, and we want to keep faith alive.
Do you need something?
Yeah, let me get some sugar.
You out of control? Oh,
but
it's in my bag.
the thing is, we're almost
have
done.
my water.
We're almost done. It's this is bad.
It is.
It's nobody cares about this.
But like we said a couple episodes ago, is some people okay? So I'm gonna ask this age-old question again. Why people feel upset that WWE shouldn't have it?
Should have what?
Like Ring of Honor, because they feel like they will only use it for a tape library.
Which would have been, honestly, it probably would have been the better of the deal, because then all the talent could have either been AEW talent, they could have been whatever company they would have signed to, or they could have worked the indies. Like, whatever they're going to do, they can do. I just feel like the tendon love and care that ROH needs and deserves, they don't get.
They don't get it. You know.
And honestly, it's been like that since Sinclair days. So it's not even, honestly speaking, it's not even a Tony Khan thing. It definitely has just been kind of the history of ROH, where the love and the care that the fans have for the product, the people behind the scenes don't give it that much the same either. So, but if WWE would have just bought it and did the library, I think it just would have been better off, because it just would have been, okay, we have a place where we can watch old ROH stuff, and that's fine. And then whatever talent they would have either put on NXT or AEW or whatever, it just would have been that prospective brand's person, instead of it being like a wishy-washy thing. Because if you don't watch Dark or Revolution, Evolution, you don't watch YouTube shit, you don't even know half the shit that's going on. Like, if I didn't think about how they played Brian Cage and Dalton Castle in that match on Dynamite, to then now going into a 6-man tag match, okay. But if I didn't see that match and I didn't see that Dynamite, I wouldn't have understood what the fuck that was coming from. Basically. So, or even Juice Robinson, that was what that promo he did was 2 weeks ago, challenging Samoa Joe mad randomly. It was like, what?
But
so
they don't have time. They don't have time on the television enough time to work this.
They don't.
Because they don't have enough clout to put on enough shows.
Son said they don't have enough clout. I'm weak. But you didn't say that though. But it's just like, again, they're only 3 years in.
But the thing about it, it's
all right. We not gonna.
Yes, no. He's right. They're only 3 years in, so they don't have clout.
They don't.
They don't have no pull.
They don't.
They're still trying to prove themselves.
No, they don't. Listen, not everybody is an overnight success.
And no one said they had to be. But the whole love saying, I'm just over the whole.
I'm just mad that people.
3 years in.
People were out here saying that they saved wrestling. That's my whole thing.
No, but for some people, that's how they feel.
Exactly.
And that's fine.
How did they save wrestling?
Listen, for somebody that is a diehard indie fan that has probably never seen half of the Asian niggas in real life, they're like, oh my God, I get to see whoever this is in America and on TV. And I had for that type of fan, that's how they may feel.
But how is that saving wrestling?
That's saving wrestling for them. That may not be a saving of a wrestling for you. That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, if it's
like Vince.
if it's something that you like, it's for you. And I've already said AEW is not for me. All right. Last but not least, NXT Deadline, the last premium live event in the Performance Center, because they're once again going back on the road with their first show, Vengeance Day, February the 4th, in Charlotte, North Carolina. So once again, tickets I believe going to sell next Friday the 16th. So stay tuned for that. But they have Alba Fire versus Isla Dawn in a singles match. So that's the girl that cost Alba Fire the NXT Women's Title match at the last show that they had. Wait, do you watch NXT?
Me?
No, I'm talking about you. Yeah, you.
On and off.
Okay.
Me too. I only watch the pay-per-views.
Oh, what the fuck is? All right, well, I'm going to give you guys my prediction because these niggas probably don't even know who the fuck these people are. I'm going to go with Alba Fire. We got Pretty Deadly, who is the reigning, defending, undisputed NXT Tag Team Champions, going against the New Day.
I want New Day to really win.
I really want New Day to win because they've never won the NXT Tag Titles, and I think that would be super dope to kind of like, even if it's for like 2 months. I wouldn't even care if they lost that shit in February. Like, cool. But I think it'd really up jump the tag team division in NXT, even though it's actually already a really good division itself. We have Braun Breaker versus Apollo Crews for the NXT title.
I'm winning.
You're not in the match.
Yes, I am.
You're not. Who do you guys have?
Braun Breaker. Let's be honest.
But would the okie doke be if Apollo Crews won?
I'm not going to win.
You're not Apollo Crews.
It's come on, let's be serious.
You're not Apollo Crews.
Braun Breaker's winning that shit.
Braun Breaker.
All right, next we have so once again they have an Iron Survivor challenge to determine the next number one contenders for each prospective title. So for the women's, we have Zoe Stark, we have Cora Jade, we have Roxanne Perez, we have Kiana James, who I love. Kiana, if you listening, I love you, girl. No. I love you. I love the character. Once again, because y'all niggas don't watch it, so y'all can't see it. So, but she's super dope on NXT. And you got Indy Hartwell once again. That Cash that put her ticket in last the other night on NXT. So, who's gonna be the number one contender?
Number one contender. Who do you think?
I'm gonna go. I didn't get there yet, but okay. For the women's, I'm actually gonna go with Indy Hartwell, just because of the like standoff that they had. But the other person,
move it this way.
What?
Move your chair this way.
Oh,
I was like, what happened? But if there was another person, honestly, the Cora Jade chick, I actually really like.
It's the most logical choice is Indy.
Why?
She's been there the longest. She's still the last one out of that group that they had that's still on NXT.
Yeah.
She
what
hasn't.
About Roxy? She's in the match?
Yeah.
You don't think that she's ready?
No.
I don't think she needs this to get a title shot. Like, I can see her and Mandy at Stand and Deliver in LA. I can see that happening.
I believe that.
I don't think that certain things, like, just like for Money in the Bank, there's certain matches like people don't need to win to get a title shot type of situation. But I think with Indy being the tenure, and I think if they even were thinking about maybe calling her up, this may be, her last chance of doing that. But once again, Cora Jade would be my number 2. On the men's, you have Carmelo Hayes, you have JD McDonough, you have Joe motherfucking Gacy, you got Grayson Waller, and you have Aximum. Who do you guys?
Carmelo Hayes.
Carmelo Hayes, come on, bro.
That's the only person I could see that would make a fire match with who's ready.
I'm gonna go with Hayes because he once again
his first name is Carmelo, last name is
out of all of them, the either him or Joe Gacy. I love me some Joe Gacy.
The United States Championship that get defended.
This is NXT.
What's that?
The North American title? No, not yet. They probably do it on because he's doing a feud with the one that came back that was
he's the beef with Keith Lee.
Yeah, that one.
And Kovic.
Yeah. And then Tony D'Angelo wrestles for the first time in over 2 months on NXT this week. So he's in that little feud with them.
So he's still on NXT?
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I either say Carmelo or Joe Gacy. I would love to see. 8 o'clock. So once again, Ring of Honor.
Yeah, Legends.
No, Ring of Honor will be during the daytime, so make sure you can. I believe you can order that directly on Bleacher Report or any other streaming platform that does offer it.
Some links, let me know.
Can you not be illegal on live? And then NXT. Thank you.
I got link to shut down.
Niggas is out here just like telling on themselves. And then NXT Deadline will be on Will be on Peacock at 8:00 on Saturday night. So you can tune in on that.
Watch the cock. After that wrestling, watch
next week, Tuesday, I believe we have the JTP Lounge where we have a very special guest that I'm super excited about interviewing. So look for that on Tuesday night, and then we will be back next Thursday, of course, live and in color. As always, I'm Janelle from HR here by myself because these niggas just love to leave me by myself. But Sir Wilkins and Mr. Black, #Black Excellence, #we are out. Why do you decide to get in my face? You're blocking me. How did this become?
It's over, got the hands in motion. If you go with rolling, no need to focus. Traveling states and over oceans. You gotta wait till your coast chosen. Try to have lines outside the show like Harry Potter releases at Barnes & Noble.